to share their experience, knowledge, and expertise in submitting and using tourism awards to your best ability as your own organization. We want Regina and Southern Saskatchewan to shine through recognizing outstanding contributions in the tourism industry in 2018, and our three organizations have come together to bring you some help filling in those award nominations. Nominations are open in the province, and if you are a tourism business, professional, or operator, this is a great time for you to start thinking about submitting an application to the Saskatchewan Tourism Awards of Excellence. The awards acknowledge exceptional contributions to the province's tourism sector and to honor the people, places, businesses, organizations, and events that have gone above and beyond to provide great experiences and service throughout the year. So a couple housekeeping things before we get started here. You can submit your questions through the question box on the right-hand side of the screen. The link, presentation, and contact information will be shared with you post-event, and there will also be a short survey at the end, so please feel free to share your thoughts and feedback, as well as any other suggestions for future webinar topics, as we are looking to better connect with our community. So like I said, I guess I jumped ahead here. I'm with Economic Development Regina, which is as well Tourism Regina. So I just want to go briefly as to what our role is in Saskatchewan Tourism Awards. So the first thing is support. Tourism Regina can act as an external organization to support your organization through collaboration and nominations through the Greater Regina area. Promotion of your organization's successes in the tourism industry, which Gail and Nancy will talk about here in a few minutes, through destination marketing activities, and civic pride. So continuing to support the voice and proof that Regina and Saskatchewan is a great place to live, work, and visit. And this is something that we know we are constantly trying to change that verbiage as to there's nothing here in Saskatchewan, it's flat, there's nothing going on, and making a positive, more forefront of those great experiences and opportunities for people to come and visit our destinations and organizations. So what we will do is pass it along to Gail. Gail is the Executive Director of the Cypress Hills Destination Area, the destination marketing organization for an area that extends far beyond Cypress Hills, all the way north to Leader, east to Grasslands National Park, and everything in between. So Gail, I will pass along the mouse to you, and hopefully this works. We did practice, but hopefully this works, and you'll want to click at the bottom left-hand side there to move the slides along.
Awesome. Hi, and thank you, Ashley, for inviting me to speak on this topic. It's one I do truly believe in. So I'll just, do I have, oh, I don't think I have yet. Control?
On the bottom left-hand side, there's two arrows there. You'll want to click one of those.
Got it.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. So when I was first introduced to industry awards as they related to the Chambers of Commerce and other industry organizations, originally I was surprised that they weren't actually industry nominated, but rather more often than not self-nominated. At the time, it felt like it kind of cheapened the recognition in some way. But as I've come to realize, it is very difficult, if not impossible, for an anonymous third party to nominate you without your knowledge, simply because no one knows your business better than you, and yet without a third party helping you, you may not toot your own horn quite as loudly as it should be tooted. So that's why I believe it's important to work closely with the third party to help you write your nomination. For our members as a DMO, it's one of the responsibilities that I personally have taken on, but it doesn't have to be a DMO. If you think you have met the criteria to apply for an award, reach out to someone who knows your business well and ask them if they'll help you. While it can be a lot of hard work, especially doing it for multiple members, I hope to show you why I think it's valuable. The rewards of winning awards can be many, but they may not be what you think. So some of the first things, free advertising in Google rankings. First up, the #1 reason people usually give for applying is the added media attention you'll receive, which at the end of the day is free advertising. Considering the cost of advertising these days, free is always good. But the number of media outlets willing to pick up just average, run-of-the-mill, feel-good stories are usually local ones. And most of those people know about your business already. What the media stories do more of is to help you rise higher in Google rankings, especially if you provide a link to them on your website. Well, the only problem with, there we go. They also elevate your role in your local communities and add a level of legitimacy to your business you may or may not have had before, which can always help as you look to collaborate with others. So the Ghost Town Blues was able to win the Service Award for Tourism Saskatchewan Awards last year, and Yorkton carried it. We did a press release for it. Also, the Reeser Ranch has won more than a couple of awards this year, and they put it on their website. So then if you happen to Google Saskatchewan Tourism Awards of Excellence, you're actually seeing the Reeser Ranch website come up because it rose them in the Google rankings. Another reason is consumer confidence. As mentioned above, linking any press releases, media stories, or any news of your award win can and should be added to your website. Tourism Saskatchewan also provides a finalist logo and an award-winning logo which can be added. While TripAdvisor is still a valid source of reviews and first-hand knowledge that people turn to, seeing an award-winning symbol or link to a legitimate source that has vetted your business on a peer-to-peer level gives people a sense of confidence, especially for small businesses, that makes them more likely to trust you as a business. So when the Reeser Ranch won this award, they actually said that they feel that it boosted the consumer confidence in their products. Trust is a key element for visitors when they're planning a trip, and being able to showcase these awards show potential visitors that they can trust that we deliver value with what we offer. Third reason, the trickle-up effect. We've all heard about the trickle-down effect. This is the trickle-up effect. Winning a Tourism Saskatchewan Award gives you the added opportunity of applying for a Canadian Tourism National Award and potentially other award possibilities as well. When word reached the Saskatchewan Chamber of Commerce that the historic Reeser Ranch had won the Tourism Saskatchewan Business of the Year Award, they reached out to the Reesers and asked if they'd be interested in applying for an award with them as well. As a result, they asked for my help in applying for the Service Award, and they won that one as well, doubling the effects of the Tourism Saskatchewan Award. Then, because they won the Tourism Saskatchewan Award, they went on to the Canadian National Tourism Awards. And I'm not sure if anybody knows, but they actually won that award on November 28th. So they won Canadian Tourism Business of the Year Award. And that's all just from applying for the Tourism Saskatchewan Award. So there's definitely a trickle-up effect. They've got now 3 major industry awards under their belt in just 1 year. So pride is probably the fourth reason here. They say pride goeth before a fall, but as entrepreneurs, as managers, as workers, most of the work we do is done day in and day out as part of what we have signed up to do for a myriad of reasons. But we sometimes wonder if we're actually making a difference. Receiving that peer recognition, being given that nod, even if briefly as a finalist, can make the long hours, the hard work, and the thankless days simply melt away. As Sally Field so eloquently put it, you like me, you really, really like me. That may be a very age appropriate theme. Some people may not get it, but okay. And sometimes that's all we need to get up the next day with renewed vigor to realize the hours and the hard work mattered. So now, tips on how to actually apply for the awards. Like I said in the beginning, enlist a third party to help. When I approached the historic Reeser Ranch about applying for a Tourism Saskatchewan Award, they said they didn't feel comfortable applying for the award themselves. They didn't like the idea of tooting their own horn. Again, nobody knows your business like you know your business. So I agreed to help them and I agreed to nominate them, but I needed to work really closely with them to learn more about, while I know the surface stuff of their business, I didn't know a lot of the in-depth things that were needed to be able to fill out an application properly. So get your chamber, your DMO, your accountant, someone who knows your business and whom you trust to give some of the more intimate details that are needed. Not only is it sometimes hard to toot your own horn, Sometimes you're too close to see what is tootable. Answer all the questions. That seems simple, but no matter how difficult, even if it feels like you're just repeating the same information over and over, they'll really read the questions to make sure you aren't repeating information they aren't looking for. Each question is designed to gain insight into your business that is important for the criteria. When they applied to the Provincial Heritage Designation, one of the response that came back to the research was, you made it really easy for us to approve. You gave us all of the critical information we needed and you answered every question. That may seem simple, but those award panelists, they get a lot of different applications. The more succinct, the more easily you make it for them, the easier it is for them to choose you. Also, tell a story in your answers. Don't just always give the bare necessities. Weave a tale for the judges to learn from and to allow them to gain a deeper understanding of your business. You can tell them that you provide great customer service to your clients, or you can tell them that you started your business because you love seeing smiles on the faces of your clients when they tell you that they've had a rough year and staying with you helped them to de-stress, and that's what it's all about for you. No one wants to offer their clients bad service. So what is the motivation that makes you go and do just that little bit more? Those are the kind of stories that you can tell. Don't be shy. This is, again, that whole tootable thing. This is why number one is so important, getting that third party help. Most of us think it's bragging or shameless self-promotion if we say why we're great, but it's speaking up and showcasing the work you've done to get where you are, and you should be proud of it. So now, ta-da, you won. Now what? So here's a couple of tips for if and when you win. Use the logo given to you by Tourism Sask. Place it on your website, share it on social media, print it on your publication material. Shout it from the rooftops. As you can see here, this is from last week before I knew they had won. So they actually put the logos right on their website. Let the media know. Tourism Sask shares a press release with the media, but there's nothing stopping you from issuing a more you-centric one that tells why you're so excited, the journey you went through to get to that point in your career or business. Media is really hurting for content right now. Content is a beast that we all must feed. And if you can provide a pre-written story with a high-res photograph, especially if the media outlet is a smaller operation, they'll often just print it as is. Make sure you have that high-resolution photo and make sure that the story is not more than probably around 500 words or so. Link to the media or press releases on your website. Like we saw in that original slide about the researchers posting the press releases on their website, it then does come up in Google searches. So share the stories on your social media, share your reactions on social media, and your own homegrown videos or photos of you winning the award. And then congratulate yourself on a job well done. Sit back and revel in how great you are, because at the end of the day, you are. And those are my tips and tales.
That's fantastic, Gail. Thank you so much. I definitely remember the research thank you acceptance speech at the host conference last year, and you could really tell it was that authentic thank you. They were genuinely surprised that they won, which is quite funny because you look at their award and their submission, and it was quite fantastic. So that's really, really great to see such a strong suit coming out of the Cypress Hills. So that's fantastic. So Nancy, she is on board now. I'm just going to connect you here in 1 second. And what we're going to do is Nancy's going to share information on the Tourism Saskatchewan angle and actual information on the awards, as well as some insight from her role as to successful nominations and what that looks like from her end. So Gail, I think you have control on your end if you want to check.
You mean me, Nancy?
Yeah, or Nancy. Sorry, Nancy.
Okay.
Yes.
I look like I can move the mouse, so.
There we go.
I don't see the little arrows down in the bottom, though.
No. Can you click and will it go forward?
Oh,
there we go.
There we go. Perfect. Hi, everyone. As Ashley mentioned, my name is Nancy Hubenig. I am an event specialist here at Tourism Saskatchewan, and for the past number of years, one of my roles here has been coordinating the Saskatchewan Tourism Awards of Excellence program. So I help promote the program, and then once the nominations start rolling in, I coordinate that. So I want to thank everyone for participating today in this call and for your interest in our awards program. And I hope that today I can share a little bit of information on the program overall. And I definitely want you to get in contact with me if you have any further questions once we're done. But this is the 30th year of the Saskatchewan Tourism Awards of Excellence, which we're really proud of. The program has changed and evolved over the years. There's a lot of categories that we no longer have, ones we've added, just to kind of keep up with trends in the industry. This year, we have added the Indigenous Tourism Experience Award, so just another sign of trying to keep up with relevant offerings in the industry these days. So we currently have 13 categories. The event itself takes place April 11th, 2019, up in Saskatoon this year. We alternate between Regina and Saskatoon each year. And the deadline for nominations is January 25th. So while that still seems far away, it will sneak up on us very quickly. So I'd like to encourage all of you to get working on your nominations sooner rather than later, because, yeah, that time ticks by real quick. So I just wanted to buzz through what our current categories are. So as I said, 13 categories. We have 2 Business of the Year awards, one for over 20 employees and one for under 20 employees. And these are sort of the 2 big awards, I would say. They recognize overall excellence in the industry. This is the one that the Reesers did win with us last year, and then they went on to win at a national level as well. We have the Community Event of the Year, which recognizes sort of smaller annual events in communities. Fred Hill Tourism Ambassador Award is awarded to either an individual or a group that is working on developing Saskatchewan as a tourism destination. Gil Cardner Marketing Award, that is specifically for marketing campaigns, so that's a business award as well. Indigenous Tourism Experience Award, as I mentioned, is a new one. In that one, we'll recognize businesses that are incorporating Indigenous culture into their offerings. The Marquee Event of the Year is sort of for the bigger scale events. Those tend to be, they are annual and one-off in nature. Agribition has won this one a couple times as an example, but one-off events like the LPGA event that was in Regina this year, for an example, or the Briar could also be up for an award like that. So it's either one-off or annual events. Rookie of the Year, presented to a new business. This award used to be based on a calendar year, but we've extended what we qualify a rookie as by a few more months. So as long as the business opened around or after June 1st of 2017, we recognize that as a rookie. So it's the window's a little bit wider than it used to be. Oh, what did I do? Oh no. Ashley, help. Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Service excellence. That is an award that recognizes commitment to customer service. So lots and lots of people qualify and generally apply in this category. Tourism Employee of the Year. This is an opportunity for businesses to really recognize one of their frontline employees for the outstanding work that they do. Employer of the Year is more of an HR award, recognizing commitment to training and overall excellence in HR development within your organization. Travel Media Award is always a fun one. It recognizes excellence in creating and sharing Saskatchewan travel stories, and this can be traditional media or bloggers. It's any kind of media that makes Saskatchewan look great. We want to hear those stories and celebrate those writers. And then our final one is a tourism builder. This is sort of another big award. We recognize up to 3 builders every year. These are people that have sort of worked in the tourism industry their whole life and contributed greatly to the industry in Saskatchewan. Tends to be people that are in the latter part of their career. And as I said, we will recognize up to 3 of these each year. These are not chosen by our industry selection committee, which I'll talk about a little later. These winners are chosen by members of our board of directors and some other industry experts, former builders. But moving forward, putting together a successful nomination. As Gail mentioned, you can self-nominate or be nominated by someone else. Some people are really good at tooting their own horn, but as Gail mentioned, some people need a little bit of help because they just don't feel comfortable saying how great they are. So but we definitely do accept self-nominations. The forms themselves are pretty straightforward. There's generally 5 to 6 questions on each. I will echo Gail in the fact that you really need to answer your questions in full. Refer back to the criteria often. But it's the biggest complaint when that we hear back from our industry selection committee is that there are businesses that they just know could be award finalists or winners, but they just didn't give them the information on the nomination form. And that's all that they can work with. The industry selection committee can't use prior knowledge of a business. They have to go off the information they receive on the nomination form. So please do make sure that you fill those, answer every question and fill that out completely. So once you're done with your form, you just return it via email to me. Include supporting material and photos. Supporting material can include links to YouTube videos, links to published articles or stories, PDF versions of your brochure, anything that would support what you're stating in your nomination. Less is more. Please pay attention to the word counts that we put in there. We won't discard your nomination for going slightly over, but please don't ramble on and on. The word counts are in there for a reason. As I mentioned, the finalists are chosen by an industry selection committee. These committee members are chosen from their past award winners or other industry experts. We try to choose them from various parts of the province, so we're not representing any area more than any other area, and from different sectors within the industry. So we get 15 members of industry every year to assist us with selecting the finalists and ultimately the winners of every category. So benefits of nominating your business or your employees. Again, this is sort of echoing some of Gail's thoughts. Pride amongst your team. The event itself is a lot of fun. If you're an award finalist, we encourage you to bring your team out. You're given 2 complimentary tickets as a finalist to attend the event, but quite often we'll see tables full of people from a business. It's a really fun way to celebrate how awesome you are. Recruitment of employees. Awards and accolades show that you are running a fantastic business and potential employees want to be a part of that. As Gail mentioned, it's an excuse to brag. We encourage you to share the news that you're a finalist and or a recipient as much as you can. One of the things that we will provide to you if you are a finalist is a news release template in case you're unfamiliar with how to issue a news release. Basically just you fill in the blanks and then you fire it out to the media of your choice, and hopefully they'll pick up on that. And then you get some promotion from Tourism Saskatchewan as well. You're featured on our industry newsletter, listed on our website, and we will mention you in tweets and Facebook posts to our large group of followers. So in closing, all the award criteria and the nomination forms themselves are available on our industry website. Or you can also just shoot me an email, give me a phone call, and I will guide you in whatever way I can. Tourism Saskatchewan, while we facilitate the nomination process and organize the event, we do try to stay hands-off in the actual nomination of businesses, just to not appear that we're playing favorites. So the nominations themselves need to come from industry or the businesses themselves. We don't do any nominations. So in closing, I would like to encourage all of you to put forward nominations and also to attend the event. April 11th in Saskatoon. It's held in conjunction with our Host Saskatchewan conference. We're just finalizing some details on speakers, etc., for the conference, and those will be available on our industry site shortly. In addition to a good learning opportunity, the conference is also a really good networking opportunity to meet fellow-minded businesses in the province and celebrate your successes if you're an award finalist. So hopefully that answered a few of your questions on the awards program, but please contact me if you have anything further.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Nancy. I'm sure that is tons of information there for folks to really dive in and submit those nomination forms by the end of January. So moving on, if there are any questions, we're just going to take a couple minutes here. If you want to submit questions via the chat box or via the on the right-hand side of your screen, that would be great if you have any questions. As well, Nancy's email is there. So what I will do as well is share our contact information. So feel free to reach out to any of us to pick our brains and ask questions as to some regarding your nominations, or if you need a third party to kind of bounce ideas off of, please feel free to reach out to us. That would be fantastic. And just some dates to remember, those award nominations close on January 25th of 2019, not 2018. That's a date wrong on there. And the host conference will be on April 11th, 2019, and Tourism Regina and Economic Development Regina will be there in attendance. So we hope to see tons of Regina folk out and representing this amazing year that we've had behind us, and looking forward into the next year. So if there are any questions, I don't see any coming through, but I just want to send a thank you to each and every single one of you for coming and spending, I guess, half an hour with us on our pilot webinar. We've never done this before, so I'm very glad that the technology worked and everyone was able to attend and able to get the information to them at their desks or with their teams. And what we will do moving forward is I will send out this webinar to everybody, as well as the presentation and links to the actual nomination forms. So you can fill those in right away, as well as all of our contact details for you to reach out to us if there are any additional questions after the presentation. So thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will look forward to talking with you further. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ashley.